heard that you should budget 2 to 3 hours of study time outside of class for each hour that you spend in class. How can you fit this into your week? At the end of this video, you will be prepared to implement an independent study schedule that incorporates proven time management and learning principles. Okay, so you think you need to budget 9 hours of study time for your class. How do you fit that all in? As you listen to the principles below, consider how you would implement them into your weekly study schedule. First of all, a good principle to keep in mind is the value of regular review and repetition. Repeated shorter sessions are more effective for learning than 1 or 2 long study sessions in a week. Why? Repeatedly encountering the same material more than once, with a break between, reinforces your memory and learning. With shorter sessions, you are able to focus well on learning for the full study session. Rather than losing focus and taking breaks within your session time, you are able to commit to focusing for your full session. For example, 1 hour of study before taking a well-deserved break. Here are some other tips for scheduling independent study sessions. It's a good idea to allow time for a brief review session within 24 hours after your class. This avoids the problem of forgetting what you learned in lecture and having to relearn the material later. On a similar note, schedule some time to prepare for each class before you go to lecture. If you're able to pre-read the material that will be covered, you'll benefit more from time in class. Consider the times of day when you learn best. If you're not a morning person, no problem. Schedule your study blocks at times when you're most able to engage well with the content you're learning. If you have a longer period of time scheduled for study, consider alternating between subjects. For example, study accounting for 1 hour before moving on to an hour of work on your English class. And lastly, take breaks. You may find it helpful to set a timer for each study period. When the timer goes off, take your well-earned break. On the next page, you'll see an example of a possible weekly schedule. Your next challenge is to implement these principles in creating a weekly schedule for your own independent study.